we touched on like borders and picture frames before. Traditionally, we see a lot of builders with timber decks miter the corners as a picture frame for their decks. What are some options builders could use with particularly Trex? Because as we know, composites have a tendency to expand and contract a little lengthwise. So although you can use it mitered,
yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
what are some other options?
So there's a few different ways that some of our Trex Pro installers have gone about doing picture frames and mitering corners. I've been speaking to a few of them recently just to get their feedback on it. A lot of them are going back to site now just to see after a year what the deck has done as it's settled into place, what the workmanship that they've done looks after a period of time to install. Some of the options the guys are now doing would be a square cut corner. So instead of a traditional 45-degree mitered corner, it's far easier just to do square cut, and then it's the start of a herringbone, but it's essentially a square cut corner. Obviously, you'd still have the exposed end of the board, but you would position that where it's not going to be the first thing you see by looking at the side of the deck. So a non-traffic area would be the ideal way to position that board to then lap into the other one.
I've seen a lot of the Trex pros on social media doing that. That seems to be probably one of the easier and quicker ways.
Yeah, definitely. It's quick. You don't have to be so precise with your mitering.
Yep.
And then the board it's basically running into a breaker board where the board moves sideways and it's going to contract and compress at the same rate.
And it's probably worth noting that Trex does have the smallest movement in the composites.
Yeah,
is that
definitely.
Right?
So a 3mm butt joint is always required if you go down that track. If you go with the breaker board option that I always recommend, by running a board end of board to side of board, you can close it up to 1.5 mm.
Yeah.
So really tighten up all your gaps, which
would look tidy.
It does look a lot tidier, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so another way that you can hide your end grain if you don't want to run a picture frame but you still want to finish it off nicely is we've got two options. You've got your 184 by 14mm fascia profile that traditionally gets put underneath the deck boards to cover joist underneath, but what you can actually do is bring it up level with top of deck.
Oh, so it's a small 14mm
14mm perimeter around the outside.
Yeah.
The other alternative is you go to the square edge board, which is a 140mm profile by 25mm, and then you get a 25mm border around the deck.
I've seen it done both ways and both look really tidy.
Yeah, they do look really tidy. It does finish off the deck quite well.
Yep.
Hides all your end grain and can be the beginning of hiding joist, anything else underneath the deck that you don't want it to see.
So people don't have to hide their end grain, it's just a matter of it looks tidier, is that correct?
It does look tidier. Some of our Trex pros around Australia are now getting colour matched paint, so they will just paint the end of the board, which looks really nice. If you get the right match colour there, it does look like the board is fully coloured the whole way through.
It can look tidy.
Yeah.
So but you'd still see the groove, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah, unless you're using that square edge profile around the outside, and then it is hidden then, yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today. I'm really excited about getting this out there because I think it's going to save me a lot of time having to go through this every time, and I'm sure you as well. So
yeah, I'm more than happy to repeat myself as many times as possible, provided it's done right.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much.
No worries, thank you.